I'm trying to pick up the pace with my T140V Bonneville desert sled rester mod project. It's a 1976 bike and I'm working on the engine. And if you watch the last video that I put out, you'll see that I discovered that the actual retaining bit for this circlip has actually snapped off. Now this might have been caused because this bit was stuck on the other end of this shaft and it took me a hell of a time to get out. Anyway, in this episode, what I'm hoping to do is take the sprocket off the other side of this, take off the nut on this end and pull the gearbox casing out, mainly so that I can look at what part number that is so I can buy a new one or buy a new to me one. So let's turn it around and see what other broken bits we can find. First thing I need to do is to remove this plate on the primary side. Frequently you find that these screws are chewed up and they're very often difficult to move. So I'm going to get an impact driver and give them all a good tapping with an impact driver first. And I mean a manual one, not an electric gun one. When you're using an impact driver like this, you want to make sure you get a bit that is a good fit actually in the screws. It'd be better if it could get all the way to the end and fill it fully, but this is a little bit narrow, but it is actually quite solid, so should be okay. The other thing is, remember your impact driver can go both ways, so you need to make sure you've got it set to undo and not do up. There we go. And I'll start at the top, and I'll work my way around clockwise. So holding that, firmly pulling, reasonable size hammer. That's that one done. I did say clockwise. Now I've got them started, I'm not averse to using a driver to take them the rest of the way out. But I will check the threads. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if this wasn't very well sealed on. Oh, there we go. Try not to damage the face too much. Let's just see. Oh, lovely. Not even that gungy. Gungy, but not that gungy. So the next thing is to bend the tab washer up and undo this nut here. And it's a fairly big size. I have got the right tool for this. So I'll just have to dig it out of my special tools box for Triumphs. There it is. No doubt I'll need some of these later. Well, that is a tad annoying. You think you've got the right tool, and I was sure that this was the one for this particular sprocket nut. And it turns out it's not right. Well, after a break for a quick cup of coffee and a quick look on the internet, turns out this is our 1 5/8, which is for the 4-speed gearbox. I didn't actually realise the 5-speed gearbox needs a 1 7/8. Going through my toolbox, found this and thought, oh, I might be close, but this is actually a 1 13/16. How close? But no cigar. So I know that 1 7/8 is probably about the same as a 48mm. So I might look at getting a 48mm because it might have more general usage for me. I'll have a look at that first. You never know, my son might have one, so I'll check with him. And let's see how we go on the other side. Coffee first, though. On this side, got to take off this nut, which is the kickstart pinion. There's an Allen-headed screw there. There's a hex-headed bolt there. And there's a cross-headed in there. So those three should be undone, and this, and then it should pull this way. Ideally, if you sled this in the bike, you'd have it in gear with a chain on, but I'm hoping that my impact might just rattle it off. It's a 15/16. Let's just give it a quick go. Oh, beautiful. I do love impact drivers. So I don't forget, I will bag these as they're coming off so that I've got them all in one place. So we've got, I think it's a pawl, we've got the ratchet, got a spacer, and we've got a spring. This is 7/32. What a handy, useful size. So what I don't want to do is catch my hand on anything. There we go. This is a 7/16, so it's quite tight against the casing, so you can't just use any socket. Let's hope that this one's going to be up to the job. Oh, no problem. As the others haven't been so tight, let's just see if I can just get it to do it by hand first of all. And it did, just straight out. I didn't even need to give it one bang. There we go. Take the other two fasteners out. I think these go straight through. All the fasteners are done. That should just pull with it. That should go through. So I think with a little bit of tappy, definitely come loose now. I can see a crack at the top. No longer got gears. Thought there might be a bit more oil to come out. There we go. There's the part number I was after. So it's 57, 37, 52. So that's the bit that I'm going to be looking for to fix, well, to just replace this problem here. The main things of interest in this cover, besides the gear change, which actually looks absolutely fine, are these bearings. Oh, must make sure I don't lose that washer into the bag. Must remember that one. They actually don't feel bad at all. And there's a needle roller in here as well. And I'll give them a good clean up, and I think I'll be reusing them if I can take them out and put them into the other plate that I get. Either that or I'll have to buy new. I'll have to see. Looking in here, doesn't seem to be any debris at the moment of anything that looks broken. But until I can pull it out, which I won't be able to do until I've got the spanner for the sprocket nut, I can't really look any further. But it looks nice enough, to be honest. So let's see. I know I'm going to have to replace that because the other end is damaged. We'll have to see when we get it out. I had hoped to get on a little bit further than I have. I'd intended to get the gear cluster out, but as you spotted, couldn't get the sprocket nut off, so I'm going to have to wait till I've got that. So that can't come out. However, my main priority was to find out which part number this was so that I can at least look about getting one. Probably a second-hand one. I don't think I'll be able to reuse the bearings out of it. We'll have to see. They actually do seem fine, but maybe I'll buy a second-hand one that's already got them in anyway. I'm not overly worried about, say, changing all the bearings on this bike. Looking at it, I don't think anyone's been into here because this looks like an original gasket that's in. However, someone has been into the outer part. Yeah, so maybe the kickstart's played up in the past. It does the kind of thing that does happen. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. I have to wait for my spanner to come. Next, I'll be perhaps either looking inside there or getting the rest of this out. Depends how long that spanner takes to get here. Thanks very much for watching. Sorry if this has been a little bit bitty, but I'm going to try and do it in sensible chunks. So if someone's having a look at the same job, at least they can search gearbox inner casting or inner cover. They'll find it. That way, you know, you can find things fairly quickly, because you see so many videos, they've covered a lot of ground, and the little bit you wanted to see, such as you know, this washer, you don't get to see because they missed it off. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Do subscribe.